All right, thriving launchers. What does it mean to be fit, healthy, and successful? Do you want a body that you completely love? On today, we're going to discover how you can completely fall in love with your body and have fitness like you've never had before. Welcome to Thriving Launch with Luis Congdon and Kamala Chambers, the show for heart-centered entrepreneurs who want it all.
5 days a week, we bring you different segments to inspire you to live a life of freedom. We interview the leading experts in the field of business, health, and love. Be sure to check out Training Tuesdays, where we give you a clear action plan to grow your own business.
Do you have a product or service that you would like to sell online? Or maybe you've been thinking about it, but you're reserved to do it because you need a website, you need complicated systems, and you need to spend money? Well, I've created a completely free course that teaches you how to use Facebook in a purely organic way. This means no ads and no money are needed. You can use Facebook completely free. So head on over to thrivinglaunch.com. Opt into my Profit from Social Media course. I'm going to teach you the free methods to using Facebook to make money today. Today we'll be speaking with Drew Manning, who has his own TV show on A&E. He's also gone from fit to fat and back to fit. So he has an incredible story about that. He's a father and incredibly successful in his own right. We're excited to have him on the show. All right, we're here with Drew Manning. I'm so excited to have you here. We're going to just really dive into what fitness is and this really holistic aspect. Drew, welcome to the show. Are you ready to launch?
I'm ready to launch, man. Let's do this.
Awesome. So, you're a dad. You're on television. You've got this brand that's exploded. I've seen you all over the place. I came across your name once and then twice and then 3 times. And I'm not even someone who's really into the fitness world. I'm into health and caring about myself, but I'm not really big in that world. But you started showing up everywhere. I saw a little piece about you. I liked your energy. It just resonated with me. How are you balancing all of this stuff out? Because to me, I imagine that you're a very busy person.
Yeah, you know what? It's an ever-evolving thing, finding that balance in life, especially when it comes to physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, that part of our lives. Balancing all of those things is really an ongoing practice that never really ends, in my opinion. Just like fitness, you're never done. You're never like, okay, I got 10% body fat, I got my 6-pack, I'm done. It's like something you has to be part of your lifestyle and ongoing. You're continually learning, you're continually upgrading your life. And so for me, it starts with small and simple things that help me find peace. So for example, the 2 biggest things that have made a difference in my life, helping me find balance with all of this, honestly has nothing to do with fitness. And it's daily meditation and daily positive affirmations. And adding these 2 things to my morning routine have changed my life for the better, more so than any workout that I've ever done or any diet program that I've done. Those 2 things I think everybody can benefit from, no matter where they're at in life.
Yeah, one of our guests, Hal Elrod, talks about this. He calls it the savers, the way that we start the morning, and the acronym is savers. And the first thing that he starts with is silence and then affirmations, silence and affirmations. And that's what you're talking about. Hugh Jackman, someone who, hey, Hugh, if you're listening to the show, we want you on. If you know Hugh, we want him on the show. But, all jokes aside, Hugh Jackman, incredible guy. I read an article about him and they asked him, what are your keys to success? I mean, he's incredibly successful. Drew, you're also very successful. And his answer was, I meditate for 20 minutes every day. It's really cool to have a guest like you come on and say that. What does your meditation and your practice look like? Can you dive into that a little bit with us?
Yeah, exactly. So you got to understand, first of all, my background, I grew up in a very conservative religious background. So meditation to me was something that I never grew up doing and never learned how to do. And so over the past 2 years, I've had to start from ground zero. And so basically it came from downloading free apps. I remember hearing about Headspace, I think from Tim Ferriss. And I'm like, okay, this sounds like a meditation 101 or meditation for dummies type of thing. And so I used guided meditation apps that were free. And that's where I just started learning how to connect with my inner self. And so breathing techniques, using your senses throughout the guided meditation process just really helps me learn how to be in the moment, because my whole life was so focused on worrying about the past, or, being fearful of the future and never really being present. And so meditation really helps me hone that in and connect with my inner self. And so, yeah, Headspace and then Calm, those are two free apps that anybody can download that are guided meditations that if you've never done it, I think that's a great place to start.
How has the meditation journey played into your fitness world?
That's a great question. Honestly, it's helped me step outside of what the fitness industry shows you. So if you go on social media and you look at the fitness industry, it's all about six pack abs and the outward physical looks. Whereas now, I preach to people to help them be at peace with their inner self first, no matter what their body looks like. So if they're trying to lose weight, that's not their end goal. For me, it's helping them be happy with who they are first. And then the outside transformation will take place over time if they stay consistent with these healthy habits. But whether or not they have six pack abs or not, that shouldn't be their source of happiness, right? So teaching people how to become their own source of happiness, no matter what their body looks like, is a tough challenge. But for me, that's helped even me not be so obsessed with what the fitness industry pushes as what healthy is, because healthy isn't just losing weight or being skinny or having six pack abs. There's so much more to health than just that. And so adding in daily meditation has helped me kind of pull away from that in a sense. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still like to exercise, I still like to eat healthy, and for me, I do like to maintain a good physique, but that does not define me. That's not who I am. My body does not define who I am.
Drew, that's incredibly beautiful to hear from you. It really reminds me of our interview with Elliot Holtz, where he talked about meditation and how he's really gone deep into meditation. And for him, it is the most important part of his health regimen, and his ideas of fitness have really transformed during our interview. We're blown away about how much focus and energy he puts into meditation and talking about that with people. Another guest of ours, Wim Hof, who has the world record for sitting in ice the longest in the world, he talks about breathing and meditation as a way to really find this peace and slow the body down and do practically, these phenomenal feats. One of the things that I absolutely love what you just said is that fitness isn't everything for you. It really starts with self-love and caring about yourself. Kamala, I know you had a question. That resonated so much with us and what we do here at Thriving Launch.
Yeah, my question is, what else? What else have you found through this journey? Because you're so predominant in the fitness world, but just focusing on the body doesn't necessarily bring the most balance. And you have this successful business that you're running. So what else have you found that's bridging the gap between all of these different areas of your life that's creating the success?
Yeah. Honestly, it all started with my Fit to Fat to Fit journey. So that's kind of where I started to tap into the mental and emotional side of transformation, because here's the problem is I was just your typical trainer back in the day, focusing on the physical aspect of weight loss. Okay, here's meal plans, here's exercises, here's how you get skinny, here's how you get shredded. And I thought that's what people wanted to know. And then through this process of me letting go of that for 6 months and gaining 75 pounds of fat, during my Fit to Fat process, I freaked out because I identified who I was with what my body looked like. And once I lost my six pack and my muscles and was this overweight person, I freaked out and I didn't know who I was. So it forced me really to tap in to my inner self to realize, okay, who am I if my body isn't this, perfectly, molded, 10% less body fat? Who am I beyond that? And that's where I started to understand the mental and emotional side of transformation. And that's what helped me relate to my overweight clients. And that's what helped them relate to me, was I started to realize that there's so much more to overall health than just the physical side of it. So that's where it all started. And then from there, I went through a divorce, which was, it was hard. It was hell. And it was life shattering because my whole life I had known, like, okay, this is me. I'm a married guy and this is what I'm supposed to do. And then boom, here I was divorced and worried about what other people were going to think of me. I had to find a way to find peace. And so I honestly, life coaches, or one life coach in particular that changed my life, reading certain books. I recently just did a Facebook Live video on the 6 books that changed my life, which helped me transition from, being married to finding peace after my divorce. Reading those 6 books, daily meditation, and then the positive affirmations have really set me up to where I am today. And I still know that I have a long ways to go. Like, for example, you mentioned Wim Hof. If I could be on that level, I would love to be on that level. I'm still, on the Headspace and Calm apps and moving up from there. But that's what it goes to show you, that it's a never-ending journey. It's a never-ending process, and there's always room for improvement and upgrading. So I'm not sure if I answered your question, but I think I did. If I didn't, let me know.
You did. And one thing that I find is that so many coaches, entrepreneurs, people who are out there, so many thriving launchers, they come to us and I say, secretly, they whisper, I feel like a fraud. And that's something that is so prevalent in the industry as an entrepreneur, because, we're supposed to be to a certain level. And I really appreciate your transparency with where your journey was through that.
One of the other things too that I mentioned, and Kamala, that's a really great point, because a thing that I really got out of your story, Drew, and it really resonates with my story, is we reach this pinnacle of success. It might not be the highest level of success that other people that we see in the world are reaching, but for us, it's a personal pinnacle. You're married, you've got a job, you're fit, you're enjoying yourself. You've got this exterior thing that you finally achieved, and then all of a sudden, life changes. That happened to me. I lost a job ended, a relationship ended. I lost pretty much all my money. I was sleeping on a couch and sleeping in a park, and my ideas of myself, I was quite confused about life at that time. And I went through a similar journey and transformation that you're talking about. And to touch on that piece about the meditation and the Wim Hof status, one of the things that yoga has really taught me in studying it is that those external successes that somebody like Wim Hof, for example, is portraying to us, it's a great kind of example of what's possible. But at the end of the day, it's the inner peace that is the most important. And that really leads me to, I know that you're a dad, and you've got this whole other side of you that's a father, and I know that you're taking fitness to this whole new level where it's more encompassing of the whole person. Like, love yourself, take care of yourself, include some meditation. Don't just focus on looking in the mirror and reaching that thing, because if you're not happy and you reach that place and you don't like your body, then you probably won't enjoy it when you get there. So what are some of the things that you're doing with your clients differently, or doing in your personal life where you're focusing on your kids? And I'd really love to hear about that.
Yeah, honestly, it starts with me just getting it out there to the mainstream media, these small little tools that have made a big difference in my life. So talking about these books that have helped me embrace vulnerability, helping me live in the moment, helping me let go of my ego. And then also talking about, these guided meditation apps. Because here's the thing is, yes, we would all love to be on that Wim Hof level, and melt ice around us. But your average person just needs to start with, breathing, right? Learning how to breathe, first of all, correctly, and being present in the moment. So, and this is what I learned from being in the fitness industry too, is, to take someone that is eating McDonald's for breakfast, a box macaroni and cheese for dinner, and snacks on Pringles and soda. I mean, they're starting from, ground zero, step one. To get them to be like, okay, now you're a vegan and now you don't eat anything processed is a huge jump for most people. So realistically, if I could get that person just to make small, simple changes by cutting out soda and drinking diet soda, for example, that might be a great start. That doesn't mean they're perfect. They still have a long ways to go. But if I can get them making small changes over time, maybe they'll go from this point A to point B, and then from there, point B to point C. And so it's all about baby steps. And so all these things that I'm doing, that I'm talking about, are the things that the elites are doing. But I kind of try and dumb it down for people through my podcast, through my Facebook Live videos, so that it reaches the mainstream media. Because here's what I would love is to get your average middle America person realizing that meditation isn't weird. It's something it's great. It's not just something that celebrities do or these monks do. It's something that every single person in America could start doing. That's going to make a huge difference in their life. I recently talked to my good friend Pedram Shojai, who's the urban monk. And he does a great job of getting your average person to realize that they can start doing these breathing techniques, which is going to help them, in all aspects of their life, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And if we could just get that to the mainstream media, that's where the problem's at, is getting these things, these tools to the mainstream media. And getting them to make these small and simple changes is what I'm trying to do through all my platforms. So Facebook Live, my podcasts, blogs, videos on YouTube, those kinds of things.
Before we close out, what is the one message that you want to send to the thriving launchers today?
Just one, huh? That's going to be hard. Honestly, okay. And this is just me personally. This is something that's helped me is 1, to embrace vulnerability. 2 is learn how to live in the moment. And 3 is to love yourself where you're at now and not worry about so much about what other people think of you. That's 3 things. I'm sorry. That's not one, but
that was great. That was so clear and concise though.
Because that's what's going to help you out. Whether you're trying to be physically fit, whether you're trying to lose weight, or whether you're trying to be successful in your job or your entrepreneurship, those 3 things I think are going to help you across all platforms. So physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and life's a journey. And it just don't be so hard on yourself. Those are the biggest lessons that I've learned over the past couple of years.
We have been here with Drew Manning. It's been fantastic to have you on the Thriving Launch podcast. We've been talking about getting fit, not just physically, but spiritually, emotionally, and in our lives. Thanks so much for being on the show.
Thank you guys for having me. It's my pleasure.
You've been listening to the Thriving Launch podcast. For books and resources related to today's episode, make sure to head over to thrivinglaunch.com. We'll see you there.
JP Sears. Maybe you've seen him on YouTube with his comedic, ultra spiritual videos. With over 1 million subscribers on YouTube alone, JP Sears has become a hit sensation. But what a lot of people don't know about JP, he's not just a comedian, world traveler, and speaker. He's also an emotional healer with an incredible voice, an incredible contribution to today's society and culture with his videos, his work, his books.